set very high goals for this month, and I epically failed. Epically failed. Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up and my October to be read. Originally, at the beginning of the month, I was doing so well with reading. I think I read like 5 books last month, and this month, I epically failed. I planned to read like 6 books, and I only read 3, and only 2 of them were on my list. So, I actually didn't read anything for the first like 2 weeks of September. I think the last book I read in August was Isla, and that kind of put me in a major reading slump. So I actually didn't think I was going to read anything in September. I thought I was going to stick to the reading slump, and like I could not get out of it. I kept trying to read new books, and it was like as soon as I don't know why I couldn't read anything. I just could not get into any book that I tried to pick up. Like I tried to pick up Aristotle and Dante like 3 times, and I just couldn't get into it. And finally, I found a book that I could get into, and I finished within a day, and that was Shatter by Taherei Mafi. Now, I read this book, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was so freaking good, and I want the second and third book, like, yesterday. I went to get it in Toronto, and they didn't have it. They only had the third book, and I wasn't buying the third book without the second book, so now I have to go to Chapters here, where I live, and get it here, but I'm hoping that they have it, because if not, I'm going to have to order it online, and that would suck. And if the camera is shaking, it is because my cat is bumping the table behind it. So I do not own the second and third book, but I finished this one, and I'm going to finish the other 2 once I get them. Like, I was planning to read them this month, but because I couldn't get them, I couldn't read them, and that made me so sad. I was so sad. I'm so into this series, like, so into it. I'm going to do these next 2 together because they are a bind-up book, and if you can't guess, then you obviously haven't heard about the linkz series by Jennifer L Armentrout. This bind-up is of the first and the second book, which is Obsidian and Onyx, and I actually read through Obsidian in less than a day. It was like maybe like a 12-hour period. Like I read for a little bit, then I slept for a little bit, and then I woke up the next morning and like read for like 6 hours straight and like barely stopped to go to the bathroom or eat or anything. It was that good. And then I read Onyx, and I finished that. I want to say it was yesterday that I finished Onyx, but I think it was the day before, because I think I've had a whole day to start reading Opal, which is the 3rd book, and this is the bind-up of the 3rd and 4th book. So, once I'm done Opal, I'm like halfway through it now, so once I'm done Opal, I will continue on to Origin, and then I will have to go get Opposition. And I didn't think I would fly through this series as fast as I did, or am doing, but I have, and it is such a good series, and I am so glad I picked it up. It is so good. I'm not setting a big goal for October because I feel like I'm going to read a lot of books because I've been flying through so many already, but I'm not going to set a big goal and then jinx myself and then hit a reading slump and then not read anything, because that's what happened last month. So I'm going to start pacing myself better and only give myself like a goal of like 2 or 3. And then if I read anything else, then hey, I read extra. That's great. I know I said that I wanted to set a small goal, but I think that this month I will be able to read a lot more just because I've been doing so fast of a job at reading the other books that I've been reading. And so I'm setting a goal of 5 books again this month. And if I read more or less, then that's okay. I'm hoping to read more than 5 books. We'll see. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to make it on my to-be read list that I'm going to read the 4th and 5th book of the linkz series, because that's a given. It's going to happen. I am going to read those books. So these 5 that I'm going to show you on my to-be read list are kind of the ones that are like a guideline for what I'd like to read in October, not necessarily what I have to read. So the first book that I'd like to read in October is Zac and Mia by A.J. Betts, and I got this book this month, and from what I've read, it kind of sounds like Tiffios, but I'm hoping it's like it, but I'm hoping they don't die, because that would be great. That'd be like the perfect book. I'd love it, and I'm hoping it lives up to the expectations that I have for it, and I am very excited to read it. The next book I want to read in October goes without saying that it is chosen because it reminds me of Halloween, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Randsom. Now this book looks creepy, sounds creepy, people say it is creepy, but it's fantastic apparently, and I'm really excited. I definitely really, this is like the #1 book on my list that I'd like to read because of the time of the year. It's October, and it's coming close to Halloween, and it just seems like a really good book to read around this time, so let's hope I get to it. The next book that I'd like to read also kind of ties in with the whole creepy Halloween type book, and that is Unspoken by Rees, Brennan. I heard about this through Regan. I heard about the last book through Jesse. This book kind of just makes me feel like Halloween when I look at it. Like, it's got that gothy, dark sort of cover. The plot sounds really cool and creepy, and it seems like the perfect book to read in October. The next and final book on my to-be-read list is The Fifth Wave by Yancey. It is a book that I got this month, and I'm afraid that my camera's going to die, so I'm going really quick. I am really excited to read it. It doesn't really fit in with the theme, but it's like dystopian, and like it feels like the type of stuff that I want to read during the month of October. So this is the last book. Those are the books that I read in September and the books that I want to read in October. My camera is going to die, so with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I could not read anything. I was just so not into reading, and I don't know why. But then I picked up and the plot sounds really creepy but cool and like Halloweeny. I'm a Halloweeny. Are you a Halloweeny? I like Halloween. So those were the books that I read in October. No, I feel like we should dye you a color. We should dye you orange and green like a pumpkin, or purple, and put a little witch's hat on you. That'd be cute, right, Cindy? Right? That'd be cute. Yeah, that'd be cute. Say bye. No, don't bite me. Look. Say bye. Bye. You do not look amused.